Well, thank you all so much for coming back for session 2 of the Path to Bronze Leader. I hope that your first session gave you some information, taught you a few things that you may not have already known, or helped you to brush up on what exactly you need to become a bronze ambassador. So, now is the time to brag. I know we learn over and over not to talk about ourselves, not to brag about ourselves. Well, guess what? Forget everything you've learned. We want to hear all about your achievements and what you are celebrating at the close of this last campaign. So I'll be taking this slide, posting it on our Bootcamp chat room, and I would love to have you all comment below, show pictures. We want to hear your excitement. We want to know what you're excited about achieving, because it is all about celebrating those achievements along the way as you reach those goals that you have. So here are our session objectives. At the end of this session, you'll be able to define outreach and the impact that it has on your business, apply key strategies to achieve success, and you'll be able to identify what is next for you. So let's kick off the session with a quick review of last session's Ready, Set, Grow actions to ensure that we keep them fresh in our minds. You probably remember seeing this memory jogger that we had from last session. We used that as one of our tools as we Ready, Set, Grew. We completed that memory jogger. We sent out the suggested message to people on your list. I know some of you picked up the phone, you called those people, you followed up, and then you had a connection with your coach or upline for some one-on-one coaching. And that may or may not have been something that you had already experienced within Avon, but now you know that support is there for you, and all you have to do is ask. We hope that you continue with those one-on-ones bi-weekly. And hopefully you've grown your team by one or more people. This would be the next session, so hopefully you've grown by now. I know some of you have grown even more than that, and we've even had a few already achieve Bronze Ambassador. So we hope to see those celebrations on the Facebook page. We talk about the be and the boss approach in our last session, and the be is all about belief. So hopefully during your one-on-one with your upline or coach, you really got to know more about your belief, and they got to know more about it as well. So right now we're going to talk about outreach, and that is what happens when your belief takes action. So you've started your list, we've used the memory jogger, and you've already started to reach out to these prospects. Some of you have already signed people up from that list, but I bet you're ready to add more people. Recruiting is pretty simple. You just share your passion and excitement for Avon's products and opportunity in everyday conversation. This is what we call outreach. It's a crucial part of your business, which you may already know as prospecting. I know some of you may not like that P word, prospecting, so I like outreach better. Outreach, just letting everybody know why I love my business and what's so great about it. And once you get into the leadership development coaching program, which comes after you've reached Bronze Ambassador, we'll get into a little bit deeper parts of outreach and finding solutions for people's problems. I think we're going to touch a little bit on that today. But during the session, we're going to dive pretty deep into that outreach. So let's see what we can find. So if outreach is when your belief takes action, let's talk about the best way to grow. Now, this is Avon's 5x5 system. We've already established that you've got a large list of contacts between your memory jogger and the triangle layers activity, and hopefully you've reached out to some of the people on the list, but maybe there's still some people there that you haven't reached out to, or maybe your list has already grown in the past 2 weeks. So we've got a really simple system to do that. At Avon, we reach out with the 5x5 system. We talk to 5 people, 5 days a week. That's 25 contacts in a week, or as we like to say, 25 potential opportunities in just 1 week alone. Our most successful representatives make this a weekly habit, and they show their team to do the same by duplication. We don't take my word for it. We are going to hear on the Facebook page from some of those who have already hit Bronze Ambassador since campaign 18. So you'll be ready to see some testimonials from them and how they use 5x5. So let's talk about these chance encounters. It's an unlikely, unexpected, unplanned, brief meeting between two people that occurs anywhere. So if you had a girlfriend that you were going to have coffee with and you all were going to talk a little about Avon, that's not really a chance encounter because you already knew you were going to be there. So if you think that you're just limited to that list that you created, let me tell you, the options are limitless. The answer is no, you are not limited. This list is just your starting point. It's kind of a way to like dip your toe in, get your feet wet. But now that we've talked about the context we already have on our list, let's talk about those opportunities that cross our paths every day. You know, while we're out and about, many times we start conversations with people we don't know, and we call these chance encounters. They're just those unexpected, unplanned meetings that we have at the grocery store or in a waiting room, maybe in the beauty shop. So I want you to take a moment and think about when your last chance encounter was. It could have been, it could be at the gas station. It could be waiting in line. I know sometimes people complain to each other when they wait in line. It could be a conversation you have with a waitress. Let's just take a moment and think about your last chance encounter. You know, as uncomfortable as it might feel to start up a conversation with a stranger while you're out, just consider this. You'll probably never see them again in your life, of course, unless they join your team. Believe in yourself and your mission. You're there to bring an opportunity, an earnings opportunity to someone who may need it. So let's talk about how you can connect with people during those chance encounters. You know, it's really important to have an easy way of starting conversations during chance encounters. We have a couple of good options right here to connect with someone. The first option is to find common ground and ask open-ended questions to get her talking. So let's say, for example, you're in a long line at the grocery store. Well, I know many of you live near me, and I know where the grocery stores are, and chances are you are going to stand for a while. So I know every time I go to Aldi or Walmart or Kroger, it's not an in and out kind of thing. So you might say to the person next to you, oh my gosh, this line is so long. Who has time for this? Once she responds in agreement, you could ask another open-ended question to get her talking, like, how would you rather be spending your time? So, for example, if you're on the PTA and you sit down next to someone you don't know at a PTA meeting, take a moment to think about some things that you might say to drum up a conversation. Feel free to pause this at any time if you want to really brainstorm about some ways that you might start that conversation. The second option is to compliment someone. Now, personally, this is kind of my preference. I really like building other women up. I think it makes everybody feel good. If you find something genuine to compliment someone about, just be sincere when you're complimenting her, and it really doesn't make anybody feel uncomfortable. So here are some example words on the slide. Oh, you look so nice, or you look so sharp today. What do you do? And then she's going to be all excited that you're asking her to talk about herself. So you can ask more questions like, how do you like it? And let me tell you, that's usually when people who want to complain about their job, man, if someone's opened those doors, let the floodgates open because they're going to tell you what they don't like. They could also tell you things like, oh my gosh, I'm going from one job to the other job. I work these 2 jobs right now and it's really hard with the kids. You could find out so many things just by asking questions. And then instead of answering them back with a statement, asking another question. So in all conversations, whether there are people you just met or people that you already know, it's really important to ask open-ended questions to get to know their needs and wants. By knowing what's important to a person, you'll be able to share how the opportunity can make a difference in her life. So let's review each of these open-ended questions on the slide. How's your job going? What do you think is the hardest part of staying home with your kids? Tell me about what you do. How do you do it? Manage your family and a career. You know, something that you're going to notice across all these questions, we are interested, but we're not interesting. And that was one of the probably one of the biggest ahas that I had during our very first coaching chapter back last June of 2017 was this slide. Be interested, not interesting. So, it can be hard sometimes. I'm a talker. Man, I love to talk. And when I think of that Be interested, not interesting. That's telling me I need to ask and listen. Everyone likes conversations to be about them. It makes them feel good and cared for. And you're going to make the person you're talking to feel really good about you and building a relationship with you if you act interested. So another way of creating outreach opportunities is hosting Facebook parties. Now, come on, I know you have all been invited to a Facebook party, or you've seen something, an event that someone's going to, and it's a Facebook event. So I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Facebook parties are a fun and easy way of reaching more people at one time. And guess what? You can be in your PJs. You can have your hair up in a bun. You could have no makeup on. You don't even have to wash your face. It is a Facebook party. So you can host it in 5 easy steps. You're going to select your hostess right here. I mean, this could really be like a Facebook post right here through selecting your hostess, or you could PM some people. You could pick up the phone and call them, ask some people at work. Then you're going to find a time and date. Then you create the Facebook event, drive attendance. So that hostess, it's her friends that are going to be there, right? So we're going to try to drive attendance through her friends. You can drive that attendance through your own friends as well. But think about it. Now you've got this whole other pool of people. Step 4, time to party. And step 5 is the follow-up. So we have hosting a Facebook party quick guide that will give you detailed steps to how you can host your very own Facebook party. We could have an entire session on hosting a Facebook party, but the quick guide will help you to get started, and you can discuss further during your one-on-one any additional questions you may have. I would also love to hear on our Bootcamp chat room if any of you have ever hosted a Facebook party before, either for Avon or it could be another direct sales company. Would just like to hear if you've done it before and what were some of the takeaways that you had from that. So please, if you have, take a note and be sure to post that on our page. We would love to hear from someone who's done this before. So knowing that as you make these connections with new people, you'll always invite them to join your team, you really need to be prepared for every outcome, right? So what do you do if they say yes? What will you do if they say they're not sure or maybe? How will you handle it if they present some obstacles to joining your team? So let's review what to do with every possible outcome. Wow, if you hear a yes, I mean, right? What better situation could you have? You just heard yes. All right, so you got to be ready to get started. Ask for the things you need to get her started. Make a positive first impression. Your upline or coach is usually ready to do some sort of a 3-way call, especially if you tell them you have someone with you right there that's ready to get signed up. So think about that. What are some of the things that you need to be ready to get started? You need to know where she goes. You need to make sure that she has her credit or debit card available to sign up online. You guys, you can do this right from your phone. You don't have to be in front of a laptop. You don't have to have her do it on her own time. You can just pull out your smartphone, go to your e-store and have her sign up right there. If you hear maybe, further demonstrate your belief, help her to see the benefits more clearly, and use some of the tools we have to reaffirm her belief in Avon. I also think a maybe could be a place where you could ask some questions. If you hear obstacles, ask questions to dig deeper and understand. Once you dig deeper, you respond. So I know I immediately, prior to learning more about this, if someone gave me an obstacle, I would try to kind of like defend Avon, like, oh my gosh, like, I can't believe they don't want to do this. Like, I'm going to be defensive of this because I love it so much. But now I've learned it's more about digging deeper. Like, is it part of her belief window? Why does she not want to do this? Or why is she unsure? Is the obstacle an unsupportive partner? Is the obstacle that her plate is too full? Is the obstacle that she doesn't have the money? And trying to find out how to respond once I really know a little bit more about it. If you hear no, ask if the person knows anyone else that might be interested. So referrals. Discuss other opportunities. The earning opportunity is not Avon's only opportunity, right? We also have our products and our fundraising, but stay connected because sometimes no means not now. And remember, your mentor or your coach will be able to help coach you through your fears on a more personal level. So if this is something that you're really hesitant about bringing up, you're really hesitant about bringing up the opportunity because you have a fear of the maybes, the obstacles, or the no's, we can come up with some situations and help kind of coach you through that. Today, we're going to ensure that you are ready when someone says yes or maybe, because the last thing you want to do is lose a team member because you weren't ready, right? If you hear yes, have a plan to get her started right away. Remember, first impressions make a real difference. She'll be more likely to stick with you if you have an onboarding plan and clear steps to get her started. So let's take a look at 3 ways you can help set up your new representative for success. These first 2 should be familiar because we talked about them during our last session. First, you're going to help them choose the best starter kit for them. So we have a $25, $50, and $100 kit. Help them get started right away by immediately sharing the new representative offer available to them. So you have this incredible daily care collection. Guys, it's $19.99. It's crazy, right? And with the Kickstart program, really, if she's earning 40%, she's only paying $12 for each one of those sets if she were to even buy one for herself. So it's about texting, emailing, and sharing that $19.99 kit and the fact that they've started their Avon business all over social media. Show them how they can kickstart their business with the new representative program, Kickstart. So if you are not yet familiar with Kickstart, then I would highly suggest you familiarize yourself with that. You can find that on Vibe under Resources, Mentor Tools. Also under New Representative under Resources. And number 3, this is a new one, and I love, love, love this slide. I'm such a math person. When I saw this, I was pretty pumped up. This is going to help them calculate their order size to generate their first order earnings. How cool is this? Okay, so this formula is based on 40% guaranteed earnings for new representatives and selling the daily care collection bundle at $20, right? So focusing on your new representative's desired earning makes it really real to them. It gives them a clear path to a sales goal that will help them earn what they want, right? Because if I tell you, look, I want to earn $125, I want you as my mentor to tell me how I get my $125. Because if that is my why, I am coming to you because I need an extra $250 to pay for diapers and formula for my new baby each month, then I got to have a plan. I got to know how to get there, right? And I'm looking at you as my mentor to help me figure out how to find that. So as you can see here, you take the desired earnings, multiply it by 2.5, okay? That will give you total award sales for the first order. Then you divide it by 20. And that is the total number of bundles that I would have to sell as a new representative. So this is if I made this income simply from selling bundles. So here's the example. I'm telling you, I need $125 in earnings every 2 weeks. Multiply by 2.5, we get 313. Then we divide that by 20. Boom, I need to sell 16 bundles. I have a very clear, concise goal now. Now, what if she says she's not sure? She says maybe. What do you do when this happens? Think about the next steps you might recommend to further demonstrate your belief in the opportunity. You might want to help her see the benefits even more clearly. Some examples might be sharing more information with her using the recruiting flyer. Share your passion for the products using the samples in the brochure. Your passion is powerful. You guys, people can feel whether or not you're passionate about something. They can see it on your face. They can hear it in your voice. Share your business card with her so she knows that you mean business. This is not just some spiel that you have. Invite her to an upcoming opportunity party. How many of you out there are doing opportunity parties? Does she prefer online? No problem. Use your phone. You can share a virtual business card, leverage Avon social media, and share some of the sizzle videos. Of course, remember how important it is to get the person's contact information if they don't say yes to get started right away. And you can use a connection card to do this as well. And we have the connection card is available for you on Vibe under resources as well. Follow up. 48% never follow up with a new prospect. 25% make a second contact and stopped. Only 10% make more than 3 contacts. 55% of sales are made on the 3rd contact. 10% of sales are made on the 4th. And 80% of sales are made after the 5th contact. So think about that. If you were not the one that went to your mentor to sign up, if you didn't walk right up to them at a vendor fair or something like that, or they weren't already a friend of yours that you just walked right up to and said, I'm ready to do this, how many times did it take for them to ask you? And then I want you to think about how many times it took for them to ask you if you were interested in starting a team. So once you'd already started with Avon. What's going to be really key is your follow-up. Those who respond maybe need you to reconnect with them soon after you first meet. Discover.org had some interesting numbers to show us, and that's where we got the information above. So following up is definitely the key. We've talked about a lot in our session. We would love to hear from you. So if there were any aha moments that you had from this session, I really hope that you share those in our Facebook chat room. And this slide will be posted there as well so that we can hear some of the things that you're learning along the way. All right, now let's identify what is next for you. Because what's next for you is to grow. So fill out page 1 of your Plan Like a Boss worksheet. Snap a picture of it and send it to the coach or upline that you're having your one-on-ones with. Continue your 5x5 outreach. Contact and follow up. Stay in contact with your coach and upline for support and to celebrate success. Create more opportunities for chance encounters every time you're out and about. And I love this one. Host your own Facebook party. So hopefully you will add 1 or more people to your team this week. Determination doesn't make it easier, it makes it possible, by Jean Charist. So I hope to see you all on our next collaboration call. Hope you all have a fabulous week. I cannot wait to see those celebrations posted all over Facebook from what has happened in your business over the last campaign.